make the AI just do whatever it's doing, and then suspend is where you can probably take control of it. You can take control of anything, except for turrets on the island or anything on the island. All you do is take control of your carrier and your vehicles. Now, while we're waiting to build the command center, and for this guy to get back to my carrier, let's go over this. So you got production, and you can produce about almost practically anything that's available in the game that you can put on your carrier or your Volvers. I'm going to just say Explorer vehicles and your VTOL vehicles. You also got fuel. Yes, your carrier runs on fuel. You might want to produce fuel packs at all times because this time warp, though, where is this? Let me get the map out. This time warp, though it may seem a little short, it actually does take up a big portion of your fuel. So we're gonna go to supplies, and they're gonna send like a sub or some boat over to your carrier, and it's gonna resupply this stuff. You can resupply everything you build. Like if I lose a walrus or a manta, we're going to replace those. Let's see. You also have all these different weapons for your stuff. You have to produce these first, and then send them over to your carrier to arm your weapons. Okay, so go to fuel pack, get that, send the bark. I don't know if that just means that that's like the shipping order, or that's the actual name of the boat that they actually sent to you. It's a little strange, and this is actually a very, very good interface system because you can like just have like defense, offense, and supportive. It gets very detailed. I like that. It's nice and ordered, so if you want something, you can just get it. Alright. Now, all these islands have names, and I don't know why it's always called the Dead Zone. That's actually, basically the objective is control the dead zone. There's nothing really dead on this zone. I mean, I see lots of trees, marshes. Oh yeah, they also have really nice, like, developed islands they actually put into this game. It's very neat. It's all very beautifully made. I actually really do love it. And then, I don't know, sometimes the enemy carrier will go straight for probably your production island or something. But I have a lot of defensive islands, so it makes the enemy, it will make our enemy really hard to actually gain any of these, except if he attacks this one. Don't know why this is not defensive, but that's how it's going to be. So this outpost, here's another thing about the game. You can go here and you can switch it. Now in the EA opening video, or the one that's on YouTube that the guy's describing how the game works, this is actually mentioned and shown. And it'll just take a while for this to actually convert, unless you're doing time warp. Again, I don't think multiplayer is going to be added just because of that one simple thing that happens in time warp. Unless they actually do it where the ship just travels faster but everything else goes normal. So this way it would be like similar to fast traveling, it just doesn't affect anything else. And they'll also have to speed up all the production and stuff. But this actually looks like a very great single player game so far. Actually, from the looks of it, the campaign looks really neat with the FPS added into it. Some people may not like that with their strategies, but you know, sometimes you just gotta have to live with things. And that's what makes games really great, is when you blend stuff and it actually works. That's when the game is actually really worth actually playing. Now, as we can see, our walrus is taking almost forever to get there, but I mean, I could have just moved my carrier around. I mean, people will say, why don't you time warp it? Well, the problem with time warping it is this icon over here, other than my carrier, which you see is this little anchor, really is where the spot where basically where the harbor of the place is. So whenever you time warp to the harbor. You don't time warp to like any part of the island. So you kind of have to like just barely go across this, and you can barely control your carrier. Though you don't really do that so often unless you're like probably in a carrier versus carrier battle. But yeah, mostly be controlling this. Now I'm probably just gonna go and hit my map and start controlling my Explorer vehicle. So let's go. Now this is coming for the Xbox too, probably on the same day, and it might actually. I don't know if the controls are gonna be easier. It'd probably be easier because it's a controller and you can easily manage it. All right, so let's press F, and this is how we're gonna build buildings. This is the future, my friends. Little probes that do bluish force fields that construct buildings almost instantaneously. It takes a little bit to generate. That's the future, my friends. That's what we're looking forward in, like 2050 or something. I don't know. Alright, let's go. Now I'm just driving my Explorer vehicle just wherever. I don't know, I'm just driving it. Just having some fun. Now, if you press C on the computer, this will enable third person mode, which is actually a pretty neat thing. You know, like looking at this vehicle, it looks very nice. You know, it's like some sort of SUV that's like been armored. A utilitarian vehicle, but it's armed to the teeth with whatever you put on it. You can only have one weapon at a time. And when you're doing production of when you're doing this setup, like what facility you're gonna have on this island, that takes up like the weapons